Ooh, that was ugly. And well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watt2K99. Thank you as always for taking the time to watch these videos. If you're brand new, welcome aboard. Please like and subscribe. If you're returning, welcome back. Please like. I appreciate your time. So, let's talk for a brief moment because this is one of those games. This game 2, Knicks versus Cavaliers. If you're Tom Thibodeau, if you're the coaching staff, if you're a player, if you're a fan, if you're a trainer, if you're a hot dog vendor who works at the Garden and watch this game on TV, burn the tape, burn the film, burn whatever it is that you need to burn because this is one, everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. You know, I don't want to break down the technicalities of this game too much because it would be a mess, but all the advantages that, we thought the Knicks had coming into the series and that manifested themselves in game 1, whether it was the offense not turning the ball over, whether it was rebounding, whether it was the play off the bench, all of those things went wrong in game 2. And, I actually heard some people talking about after game 1, well, Donovan Mitchell is a great player, but they don't have nobody else besides him. I'm hearing this stuff on the radio, and I was like, it's not going to keep up that way for the entire series. And Caris LeVert emerged off the bench to score 24 points. Dariusgarland had a fantastic game. But you know what I want to do right now? I actually want to talk about a decision the New York Knicks made a couple of years ago, back in 2019, that is drastically affecting this series right now. So this is the 2019 NBA draft. This was one of the biggest drafts the Knicks have had in a long time. They had the 3rd pick overall. Now, they had finished the previous season with the worst record in the league, but thanks to the ridiculous weighted lottery that the NBA has, the Knicks fell a couple of draft spots. They fell from 1 to number 3. And that was the draft where New Orleans takes Zion Williamson, Memphis takes Ja Morant, who was the player I wanted all along. I wanted him over Zion. The way that he played in the NCAA tournament, the way he elevated a team on his back, just a remarkable player. And the Knicks took RjBarrett, number 3. That was the consensus number 3 pick. Not too different than the Jets actually taking Zach Wilson at number 2. The consensus number 2 quarterback behind Trevor Lawrence. Not that different of a story. But the 2 players after that, I wonder what would have happened if the Knicks would have taken one of these 2 guys. Number 4. Now, this wasn't the Hawks pick, but the Hawks traded for this player, DeAndre Hunter. Very good guard, averaging double-digit points in his career. We saw what he could do when the Knicks played the Hawks in the playoffs 2 years ago. But number 5, a team called the Cleveland Cavaliers owned that pick. And you know who they drafted that year? Number 5, 2 spots after the Knicks? Dariusgarland. Dariusgarland, a guard from Vanderbilt, and all he did last night was go 8 for 17 from the field, including 6 for 10 from three-point range, a game-high 32 points, very good defense on Jalenbrunson. Brunson had a horrible game, especially shooting outside, and a lot of that was because of Garland's defense. So in a franchise that has, specialized in first-round draft pick busts, we could go through the litany. Mike Sweetney in 2003, Rolando Balkman in 2006, Jordan Hill in 2009, Frank Ntilikina in 17, Kevin Knox in 18. A lot of those other years, they don't even have first-round picks because they were trading them away. Okay? And we could go back before that, but I'm just going to keep it since, it's in that 20-year period. This pick may go down as bad of a pick as, I'm not going to say any of them, but RjBarrett is a shooting guard who can't shoot a basketball. What is RjBarrett doing out there? In the last 2 games, he has shot 6 for 24 from the field. That's not an NBA shooting guard. That's a D-League guard. That's a shooting guard who belongs in Europe. You got a shooting guard, the best he could do, the best thing he does is drive to the basket and kick it out. That's the job of the point guard, not a shooting guard. And to read his quote after the game, I don't know what this guy's talking about. This was his quote after the game. I'm a shooter. I've also been getting a lot of free throws. My shot is fine. Why, RJ? Because you shot 2 from 12 in the first game, and now you improved to 4 of 13? That's what you're looking for as a shooting guard? Unbelievable. I hate giving up on players. I hate calling players busts. one thing I don't do is call players trash, because to me that's just downright disrespectful. It's downright inappropriate. But RJ Barrett is never going to be a starter on a team that can legitimately contend for an NBA championship. He's barely a bench player at this point. And I'll tell you what, now Josh Hart's injured, which really, really hurts. He played last night, God bless him. He gave it what he had. He was clearly not the same player. If I was Tibbs, I would not have played him. I certainly wouldn't have played him in the fourth quarter. No doubt about that. And if the problem that the Knicks have is where are they really going at guard here? Deuce McBride, I would have liked to have seen him get some more minutes because he's really good on defense. Not as good of a shooter, but he can play defense. He can rebound a little bit. The Knicks are definitely a better rebounding team when he's on the floor, but he only got 3 minutes last night. So, to me, that was a situation where Tibbs could have put in some different players, especially in the fourth quarter once the game was out of hand. But the other question I have, what is going on with Immanuel Quickley? In the first 7 quarters of this series, he has scored 5 points. Where's the Sixth Man of the Year IQ, the one who's going to finish either first or second in Sixth Man of the Year? These first 2 games, he has been a non-factor. And I'll tell you what, I think that's one of the reasons Barrett's had to play as much as he has, because both Barrett and Quigley have been terrible. That is not on Tibbs to figure out. Both of those 2 guys, IQ and RJ, they got to figure out what they're doing and take their game up a couple of notches, because you know what? Like I said, when we did our preview video, I said Jalenbrunson is a great player, great point guard. He's not going to win the series by himself. Julius Randle can't win the series by himself. Both of these teams have a legitimate superstar point guard and, one other player, really. To me, the Cavs have Garland as far as the offense goes, and of course you have Allen and you have Mobley, but they're a little bit more known for the defense. And then the Knicks have Randle. But who's going to be that third player on the respective team that's going to step up? I thought Quigley could be that guy. Josh Hart was that guy in the first game, but now he's hurt. He may not be able to give what he had been able to give in that first game. So if Barrett can't do it and Quigley can't do it at this point, I don't know who it's going to be. I really, really don't. And that does give me concern going into Game 3. But you know what? The fans at the Garden, they are going to be crazy Friday night. I think it's pretty important the Knicks take both these games. They have got to figure out what they did well in Game 1. And, just everything went wrong in Game 2. It was just... Yeah, you have to throw that out. The Knicks have to play their game. It wasn't so much about what the Cavs did right. It was more about what the Knicks did wrong. Now Tibbs and the coaching staff can work on the structure, certain play designs, but especially Barrett and Quigley, they have to look inside themselves and figure out what kind of players they can truly be. We've seen moments of them, I think a little bit more so than IQ. IQ has shown the ability to take a game over. To me, Barrett has not ever really shown that. So I think if the Knicks are going to win this series, I think Quigley is going to be that difference going forward. What kind of performance can he put up in the next potentially 5 games of this series? Well, those are my thoughts, but now I want to see yours. Put them down in the comments. Who do you think is going to win this series at this point? What would have it looked like if the Knicks had drafted dariusgarland over, RJ Barrett? Man, how the world would be different. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.